Hello, Aquarius, and welcome. I'm Adriana. Today I have an intuitive reading for you. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We will be looking at where you are on your journey, any opportunities for growth and healing. I'll also be creating an extended version or an extended video where we'll go even deeper into what comes up. So if this reading resonates with you, I'd invite you to check out the extended. So let's see. You know what? I'm going to start with where you are first, and then we're going to see what's going on. We've got Judgment and the Four of Wands coming out. So we're partway through the transformation. We're partway through getting some success and some nice feelings. We need to keep that momentum going, though, Aquarius. Let me just see what's going on with the situation. And we also want to look at what's going on with your animal. So, okay, power struggle, big power struggle, quick power struggle. Man, how many wands are you getting in this reading? We've got 7 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles. We had 2 fire cards here as well. 4 of Wands and the Judgment card. So there's a lot of movement, Aquarius. But the thing is, we're not fully through the gauntlet. The 4 of Wands tells us we're not quite done. We have had some success, and so you're looking forward to the future saying, yeah, I've got this, I can do it, but we're not quite through. Okay, what is going on here? There's these struggles that are kind of taking you off guard, that are pulling you perhaps out of what you might consider your equilibrium or your kind of Zen place, that feeling of being in control and in balance. You're involved in these power struggles where no one is able to really break through and win. We've got everyone equally matched. And the fact that this is showing up twice means to me you're really entrenched in this either fighting yourself or fighting another person, but ultimately getting nowhere. Power and rivalry going on here. Okay, so struggles for control, struggles for which way forward, how do I do this, how are we going to do this, but no one ultimately winning. Some of the excitement with this card, and this is why we're just not quite there, because it's like we've gotten through some of the challenge. You've moved on from where you were being asked to move on from, but you find yourself now locked in these battles where, yeah, you can't figure out how to get forward. Part of the reason for these battles is to test your strength, okay? This 7 of Wands card invites you to step into conflict, not away from it, to step into it just so that you can test yourself. Doesn't really matter what the outcome is, whether you win or lose, but just to step in there so that you can see how strong you are. Okay. Now I'm also feeling like once you see how strong you are, there's a force that comes to you by surprise, that does bring you back to a state of balance. Something's not quite right on there. We've got a coyote with a rabbit. So I'm going to clarify this card because it's not feeling quite right. Can you clarify what's going on with the 2, please? You know, Aquarius, I'm feeling like you are trying to find the equilibrium. You're trying to find the balance in that Zen place. And I just don't think you're supposed to do that. Things need to be a little bit more out of balance. It's like you've got to go through some more tests and some more trials in order to really discover what it is that you're actually balancing. Okay. 2 of Wands, success, and the Tower. Yeah, we're not there yet. Okay. You're trying to come back to balance, back to equilibrium, but this 2 of Wands is another one of these messages where we're not quite there. This is maybe the direction you want to go, but you're not there. And so you need to, Tower's asking you to break down this belief of needing to find that place of balance at this moment. Okay. Now I want to do two things. I want to get a message from the animal oracle, but I also want to start to talk to your soul and ask what is the reason for this off balance right now. Okay, two from here, the jackal and the snake. 44 and 43, cards 44 and 43. And we have had a few cards in sequence. You've had 4 into 5 and you've had 7 into 8 of wands. You've got 3 twos. Okay, so we're looking at making sure you're doing things in the right order. We really need you, Aquarius, to come to a place of absolute truth about what it is that you're creating, what it is that you're afraid of, and if that fear has any place in your creation right now. Okay, your heart wants you to create something different. And we've got I love this card because we've got this gold snake, this golden snake opening up, meaning the transformation of the heart. But the ability to create in a desert where there's nothing comes from your heart, and your heart and the energy of fear cannot coexist. In the universe, to oversimplify things, but to really at the absolute core of everything, there's only two forces. There's love and there's fear, and they really cannot coexist. If you're in fear, you're not in love. If you're in the energy of love, you are not in fear. You can't be a little bit of both, okay? It's like if love is water and fear is food coloring, even a tiny bit is going to taint the water. You can still see through the water maybe, but a little bit of it is going to color it. Okay, so there is a big fear that you have been running away from, Aquarius, and you need to stand up and face that fear down. This jackal asks you to face that fear. And that's why you find yourself in these struggles, and really this struggle is internal, although it may manifest external as struggling with someone else, finding yourself in this power struggle, but it's really about an internal struggle you're having with yourself, about a truth. Okay, what you might be running away from, what you might be afraid of ending, what you might be afraid of isn't going to work for you anymore. These fears all need to be addressed. They need to be brought out into the open and really considered. Okay, when you allow your fears when you give voice to your fears, and you're able to actually sit and say, okay, is this true? Is this true? Is this true? Then the release of those fears can happen. Okay, you can always go through fear with logic because fear is not logical. And so if you start asking it logical questions, you start to find that it's really has no leg to stand on. But until you actually allow that fear to come forward and let itself be seen and allow yourself to admit that you have this fear, then the healing can't take place. Okay, so denial of fear is not the same as not being in fear. So like, okay, yeah, I'm not in fear, I'm in love, but you're still there's something you're afraid of that you haven't addressed. You're still in fear. Okay, denial is not the same as not having it. Okay, so there's something that you've really got to face. All right, now I find myself reaching for a different deck, so I think we're going to go with it. What is the soul's message in all this? Okay. Prince of Cups, Two of Cups, Five of Swords, and Princess of Pentacles. You know, this is really about trusting in the soul. But what does that actually mean? The soul is an energy of pure love and pure growth for you, okay? And there's a part of you that is distrusting the communion with that part of you, the part of you that wants the love, that wants growth. What does that really mean? You know, because love means so many things, and in love and partnerships, all that That's not really where we're going with these cards. But love means being there for yourself, understanding yourself, knowing yourself no matter what, honoring yourself no matter what, and choosing paths that lead to growth. That is love for yourself. Okay, if you're not choosing any of those paths and you're not growing, and then you're not loving yourself, and then you're not connected to your soul. Okay, there's a disconnect here. The Princess of Pentacles is trying to figure this out. But the Five of Swords is the mind cutting you off, saying, no, I don't think we're going to do this path because we're going to lose something. We're going to lose if we try to grow. We're going to lose, a fantasy, or we're going to lose an idea that we have. And your soul is saying, okay, but I'm asking you to come forward. I'm coming forward to you saying, hey, I'm ready to grow with you. I'm ready to be in a loving relationship with you, because that's really all this is about. All the strugglings, all the internal warfare manifesting in the external warfare is your soul just trying to say, hey, I'm there for you underneath all of this. But we've got to release all of these fears. We've got to release all of this mistrust so that we can come together again. That's this, because we can receive each other in mutual benefit. Okay, Aquarius, I'm going to get deeper into this in the extended, continue to pull cards and ask for some steps you can do to reconnect with yourself. So if this resonated with you, please follow me over. The link's in the description below, and I'll see you there.